I'm going to be very honest here. Oh, wait. First, hook 'em. I don't want to forget to say hook 'em, but I am going to be honest. I am making this video well ahead of time. The committee has just announced that we are going to play Clemson. They actually announced it yesterday, and here I am already making my video. The reason why I'm making my video this early is because it just is what it is at this point. This is the 14th game of the season. I have seen this Texas team enough to kind of gauge what I think we need to do and gauge the things that I'm concerned about. And so what I want to do, because this is the playoffs, I wanted to talk about some things that are going into this game that are concerning me, because at this point, I think I know who this Texas team is. I think they're a very good defensive team and an offense that has shown that it's going to struggle. And so because of that, it's a weird balance when you're trying to figure out, like, what do we have going on? What team is going to show up? Can we make field goals? What are we going to do? And so heading into this Clemson game, I am not sure what Texas team I'm going to get. Anytime you don't know what kind of team you're going to get, it's always hard to kind of make these videos. And so I have something I'm going to do that I usually don't do, but I will talk about that on the other side of this video. So welcome to the playoffs, Texas. The second time in 2 years you were in the playoffs and you have a chance to play for a national championship. Welcome. The good news is we have another chance. We're still here. We can pick ourselves up and we can do what we need to do. We have a home game and we need to take care of business. The bad news is I feel like some of the things I'm seeing with this team are the reasons why we lost last year, and that's frustrating. And so what I'm going to do in this video and throughout the playoffs as we head to play in the championship game against Georgia, I am going to talk about the things that concern me, because what I have realized when I make these videos, once I actually make these videos and I'm able to let out how I feel, I actually feel better, because then I get to kind of go back and I get to edit the videos and I get to live in my feelings before anybody else sees it. And it's like healing. It's like therapy. If you haven't seen a therapist, you should go see a therapist, because this is great to like talk out your feelings. And so that's what I get to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the things that I'm going to be paying attention to and the things that I'm concerned about for this Texas team. Because let's be honest, at this point in the playoff, the margin of error is smaller, right? You need to have good offense, good defense, good special teams. And I'm going to take it a step further, and I need consistency. The one thing I have not seen from this Texas team is consistency. And so the first thing I'm going to be worried about is offensive effectiveness, specifically in the red zone. Texas has been getting to the red zone with ease. Over and over and over. We get to the red zone. And then all of a sudden we cannot score touchdowns. We have to hope and pray we don't go backwards. And then we have to hope and pray our kicker can come in and make a field goal, because some freaking reason at the University of Texas, we don't have a kicker that can kick field goals. So my first thing that I'm concerned about, that I'm going to be paying attention to, is what does this red zone offense look like? Because you cannot win a championship kicking field goals. We have to find ways to score touchdowns. I don't care if we bring in Arch Manning. I don't care if we go in the Wildcat. I don't care if Colin Simmons comes in at quarterback. I don't care what Sark has to do. He has to find a way to get the ball in the end zone when we have the ball in the red zone. He has to. No ands, ifs, or buts. And until he proves to me that he can do this consistently, it's going to be a concern of mine. So the first thing I'm going to be concerned about is this offensive efficiency in the red zone. We have to score touchdowns, not field goals. Touchdowns. The other thing that concerns me, it should come as no surprise to anyone, penalties. We cannot be undisciplined. We have to be able to not have 10 penalties. We have to not false start. We have to not line up off sides. We have to do certain things right. The basic level of football, we have to do it right. We cannot false start. That is unacceptable. We cannot line up off sides. That is unacceptable. We cannot get illegal formations. We cannot get some of these calls that we have been getting since the very first game of the season. It hasn't improved. It keeps popping up. So my concern is going to be penalties. penalties. Texas cannot afford to go in the playoffs and be the most penalized team in the playoffs. That is not good. You can't have all of these penalties and your offense can't score points in the red zone. You can't do all of these things and win football games. Something has to be good. If something is going to be good, then other things can afford to be a little bit wonky. But we can't not score in the red zone and have penalties. Like, you can't have all of these things. So the second thing I'm going to be focused on, the other thing that concerns me, is going to be penalties. The third thing should come as no surprise to anybody, and is going to be turnovers. We have to not turn the ball over. Ball security. We have to secure the ball. We cannot turn the ball over, because let me tell you something. You can't win games turning the ball over, getting a lot of penalties, and not being able to score touchdowns in the red zone. You absolutely positively cannot beat anyone having all of these penalties, turning the ball over, and not being able to execute in the red zone. I'm not saying anything that's like new and innovative here. I'm just talking about like basic football. There's like basic levels of football, right? And it's like, don't turn the ball over. Score touchdowns when you have opportunities. Don't go backwards when you're on drives. Like, this is very simple things. Like, I'm not asking them to go out on the field and then do a backflip and then do another backflip and go make a tackle. I'm just asking for basic things. And to be honest, what this all boils down to is I am asking for this offense to not be a liability. I need the Texas Longhorn offense to not be a liability. I need them to complement this defense. They have not complemented this defense, and I don't know how long. And I need this offense to start complementing this defense, because I know one thing about Clemson. They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to have nothing to lose. They're playing for the next spot in the college football playoffs that nobody thinks they're going to get. And so we need to be focused. This is not a game where we can have lapses and forget what we're supposed to do and fumble the football and not score in the red zone. Like, we cannot do that. So my third thing is we have to have ball security. Our quarterback, our running backs, anybody that possesses the ball on the offensive side of the ball has to have ball security. The other thing I'm going to bring up, and if you're a Texas fan, you're going to feel this in your soul. We cannot have a third quarter where we forget how to play football. We absolutely, positively cannot have a third quarter where we forget how to play football. Every quarter, we have to be able to play football. Every single quarter. We cannot have an entire quarter of 15 minutes where we do dumb things. It cannot happen in the college football playoffs. This Texas Longhorn team has to figure out their third quarter, whatever is going on. It's terrible. We have to figure that out. I am not saying anything dramatic that we have to do. I need my field goal kicker to make his field goals. I need us to not turn the ball over. I need us to score touchdowns when we get in the red zone. I need us to actually act like we know how to play offensive and defense and not jump off sides or false start or do all those things. Like, that would be great. Like, can my Texas Longhorns play a complete game? Like, give me a complete game, Texas. You're driving me crazy. And I get it. I get it. They're playing a lot of football. The season is as long as it's ever been. This is all new to everybody. I totally understand it, but we're here. We have an opportunity. And sometimes in life, all you need is an opportunity. So this is our opportunity to do the things that we're supposed to do, to make corrections, to go back in the lab, to step up, get focused, and do the things that we're supposed to do to win football games. Can we be honest here? I'm not going to pick against my team. This is the college football playoffs. Like, this is, like, what are we doing? Like, this is the playoffs. Like, I'm not going to pick against my team. Okay. So I'm going with Texas to win this game. I need Texas to show up. And I am just tired of seeing the same thing over and over. And I need Texas to show up. I need Texas to take care of business. I need them to do what they are supposed to do. You are the 5th seed. I need you to go out there. I need you to play like you're the 5th seed at home. That is my expectation. And anything short of that is going to be absolutely disgusting and very embarrassing. You know what else is going to be disgusting and embarrassing? If I don't see Arch Manning play a lot in this game. If I don't see Arch Manning play a lot in this Texas game, and I don't even know what a lot means, but I just want to see him in this game. I want to know that Steve Sarkisian is flexible. I want to know that Steve Sarkisian is going to make changes. I want to know that Coach Sark can see what we all can see. We need to see more Arch Manning, and I expect to see more Arch Manning, and I will get off this soapbox, but I'm picking Texas to win this game, and they better show up, because if they don't show up, I don't know how I'm going to act, but Whatever. Well, I'm just going to end this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. As always, hook 'em.